Welcome, adventurers, to a new video. Today we're going to be making, well, you've seen it everywhere lately, but you haven't seen mine, and that is a tier list. I've seen Barry's Gaming do a tier list and Zebo do a tier list, and if you watch Zebo's video, I'm so happy for him. He seems so excited to make his first waifu tier list, and it got me thinking. Instead of just reading off of like a Pridwin website and just picking purely based on like where they lie and like and going like, okay, yeah, I agree with this, I disagree with this. Let's just make a subjective tier list. Let's make a tier list that covers the waifus, the husbandos, the character designs, and most importantly, I wanted to make a tier list of where characters actually should belong in their power rankings based off of these things. I want to make this subjective as possible, divisive as possible, because none of this all of us are going to agree on. Of course we're not, but I think that gachas are meant to you're meant to pick characters that you like. The way I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to be doing this by what character belongs first in that tier, and the last one I'm gonna do is gonna be the last one that belongs in that tier. So this is gonna be very, the order does matter, I will say. First, what I'm gonna do is Dianel. Dianel is your doctor ratio. They are smug, arrogant, but definitely the best husbando that you're gonna get in this game. This is gonna be the quintessential 5-star legendary character that you get in the game. Next one, we're gonna do our first one in our A tier, and that is the one, the only, the first costume that everyone talks about for whales, and that is Vala. Vala obviously has the Zelda chic like costume swap, and the costume design is just really good. I feel like this type of character is strong because of that costume design. Next one is Rainier. Rainier, my guy, going into the B tier. I would say it's strange to say, but Rainier is oddly husbando material. But the main thing of why he's not higher in the ranking is because his character design is just super lacking, in my opinion. Now, our first potential tier is Corin. He honestly has one of the most solid designs and is a great like husbando, and that's why even though he's in that potential tier, like I said, he belongs to like an A tier, B tier. If you consider him as a husbando, A tier. If you consider him based off of purely character design and maybe voice, he's B tier, and that's because he's a white dude who hangs out with kids. Lamont just immediately to the garbage. And the reason why is he's basically a Dollar General. He's a rip-off Kung Fu Panda character, and I think the only thing that makes him interesting is that he sounds like he has a mental disability, so maybe he'd jump up to A tier for that. Our first rank 2, you guys knew it was coming, Muriel. Muriel, there's no way that Muriel could not be the top tier waifu. The only reason she falls below Dianel, I feel like, in waifu, though she's the Dami mommy, the mommy type character, but truly she does not shine through in the gameplay. So she can't be that Kafka, because Kafka has the actual power to back it up, and they straight up nerfed her. They straight up said the only reason you're gonna grab this character is because you want simp for her. Next one is Salazar, and actually I forgot his name, and that could be a whole reason as to why I would drop him down a rank. But Salazar, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, a lot of people would question this, but to me, Salazar, based off of character design, and the reason it's so strange to say, he's basically Graveborn Aeron. Next one for our B tier is Olmus. I mean, I don't gotta say much other than he is Groot. But I honestly think that this is the closest thing that we're gonna get to a cameo in AFK Journey. A lot of gachas have awesome cameos, but I think we're gonna get things that look like other characters, and Groot is probably the closest thing we're gonna get to this. The next S plus SSR character is Entendre. Honestly, I don't think that she could go lower than this. I honestly think she could go up a higher space possibly. She is the only character whose character design is, oh my god, exactly what a gacha should be. And it's the only character you can actually see jiggle physics like, so I'm 100% for it. Sylvina. Let's talk Sylvina. We can't put Sylvina, we can't dog Sylvina like this. Sylvina, as much as characters, like I'm conflicted on this, and the reason why she is lower and she is an S tier is because though her character's age, etc., is 20, her character build is just like super like non-developed, and it's sort of weird. Like I don't want to put too much thought into it. The AI artwork for this, oh my god, I'd put her in S tier for sure. AI artwork for a lot of these characters, oh my god, it would be insane. Coco, I want to be fair with storylines and lore, and unfortunately, I think that some people's lore improves their ranking. I think hers detracts her ranking because she's just an annoying brat and kid. I would think the only reason that she has redeeming qualities is because it's her pet mount. But I think that she stays in B despite that because her mount's not really used in combat. A lot of these characters that have mounts or things with them are not like really used, or like the animations don't really show them a lot, and it or doing anything at all. So it's like, why do you even have them? Hewen. And so I talk about this a lot in this. I will talk about this a lot, but she's our first true S and A tier character, not because she's husbando or waifu. Let me preface that. She's basically the better version of Verena in Wuthering Waves. Character design is solid. I think the reason why she gets this like lower, like I said, S tier, A tier, is because the leaf bear that is like her main feature in the story is not included in her character. I think if she had that, I would easily make this S tier. It would make a lot of sense to me, and I would be for it 100%. But because she is not, I can't be in full support of having it. Celine first, and then Aaron second. Simply put, Celine has so much AI artwork that she is peak waifu, and so much like artwork that like I don't know what they're doing with their art team to like send them off to the side, but stop sending them off to the side when it comes to making these characters have boobs or butts. Like keep that person on board long enough to like add that in. Aaron is basically Aragorn. I've said this before when I've been playing. He's basically Aragorn. Ludovic and Satrana. Ludovic is the femboy energy. He would fit that box for all the people who want to see the femboys in there. But he honestly, his character design is super boring. It's like Victorian child is the vibe I get, and that's really dumb. Next one is Satrana. Like I said, furries are hard to judge in the categories, but honestly, she doesn't have a strong presence nor character design in the current gameplay. Like I said, AI artwork would change this entirely, but I think that she has a place between being cute and then rather plain, if you were to consider it like being ranked amongst any gachas. We're not just ranking this as AFK Journey, we're ranking this amongst how it would be ranked in a gacha. Our next in a potential category after Hewen is Odie, and I know a lot of people are going to get tilted by me saying that he is in a lower category, but Odie is 100% A/B tier, and I would definitely say more leaning towards B. And the reason why is, though his voice lines are interesting, I think his character design is boring. His skin is boring that he has. Honestly, I think the main thing is Why do we constantly make furry characters just not cool looking? They look super tame and boring. These are animals. Like, why can't we make them look like actually badass? Garbage tier. Garbage tier. Right below Niru. And some people may not like this, but is Kruger. Kruger is just a dude with an eye patch. Next in our S and SSR tier, after Aaron, is Burial. And a lot of people are going to be mad at this one, but people are going to be even more mad at this one, and that is Viperian. Burial's character design is so thematic to the Hypogean style. Perfect, like, jester, does everything that Rainier's character doesn't, and voice lines are peak, and it's fun. It's like a Cheshire Cat type of vibe, and a lot of people love that. Chaotic, perfect. Same thing with Viperian. Viperian has exactly what a Graveborn character should be. Looks evil. Gives off evil scientist vibes. I want to see an alt skin to see what he looks like under the armor, to see if it's like super like grotesque. I think it would even be even better. It's a little low, I know, but Parissa and Atalanta. A lot of people may not like this because Parissa does have an alt skin that is pretty decent. And Atalanta, I mean, she's got the booby tattoo. The sternum tattoo, okay? I know that says a lot, but why can't just a single Wilder character, like, if you're gonna have any Wilder character, be a little bit slutty? Atalanta, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. She is A tier in my opinion. I know she's much lower in the game, but I think hers with the lore, her and Tamesia make a good pair. I think that's why she's much higher. I think her character design, besides the tattoo, is very plain, and I think that's a huge missed opportunity, because the only kind of like sort of badass character you have for is Vala, and it's like, that's barely anything. The reason why they're in this B tier is because I think a lot of characters that belong to the B tier are still essential. Maybe optionally essential, typically in a gacha, but they're essential for a reason. These would easily be characters that belong to this tier, or that could belong to a higher tier if their character design was swapped a little higher in a typical gacha. Because Granny, huge missed opportunity to give her a young skin, to see what young Granny looked like. I guarantee she was a MILF. Thorin, in a similar way. Don't think he looks menacing. He just looks like an old dude who looks like Hunchback of Notre Dame. If you gave Hunchback of Notre Dame a sword, he'd be Thorin. Honestly, he looks like if Theoden in like Lord of the Rings, if he never turned away from being old. Like, if he just continued being that old, decrepit thing, that's what he looks like. This is getting on the low end of our garbage tier, guys. This is really bad, and that is Marilee. Guys, I know Marilee's kit. I know where Marilee has value. Marilee is basically a sailor boy with less interesting personality than a paper bag. A lot of people are wondering, and in Zemo's, if you go to Zemo's waifu tier list, he puts Tamesia in the male category, and I wonder if that was deliberate. But I put Tamesia high on this list actually as a waifu. And the reason why is because she has the protector type of style, but I just want to see what's under that armor. If you gave anyone a bikini skin, I'd want to see Tamesia. And I know that's unhinged, but I want to see someone like, listen, there's an appeal to women who are jacked, and she seems like she would be jacked. I feel like she would be the character in lore in a typical gacha where when she saves Atalanta, she would get like an ultimate form. And then Freysto, I mean, Freysto obviously gives husbando vibes. I mean, other than the ponytails a little bit, but he definitely is a husbando bad guy. I just don't think he has the backstory or lore to really fit the husbando role 100%. He's just hot looking. He doesn't have the husbando appeal because he's not really a likable character, in my opinion. Carolina is one of those that has that could have qualities. We just don't know them. and Florabelle, her lore says she's mischievous, but you don't really see that. But 10 out of 10 would pollinate her flower. You saw Marilee, you gotta say Faye. This is hard for me to say because her only issue is that she just looks straight up like a little girl. That's all she is. Like, she's straight up a little girl. Honestly, she ought to be in a slice of life anime as a side character, who's like maybe like the little sister to like the main character brother. And I know people are gonna be mad that this is so low. It's CCO, and then right below that is Shaker. CCO, I feel like a lot of people would put her higher on a list, especially in a list that includes waifus and husbandos. But the character having the chair, I feel like loses like a bit of the positive qualities to me. But really, my heart of hearts wants her to be higher. But she already has a simp. She already has a simp fighting for her. Shaker, I think, oddly enough, is the only mauler who fits the husbando qualities. And actually has interesting character design. This is March 7th and Don Hung. Do I gotta say anything else? Right below Shaker is Cassidy. Cassidy, I don't judge based off of her personality, but for the lack of, I mean, like the reason why she's still S tier. Don't forget that. But she's one of the few characters to actually have a. She's got thick thighs. Then Seth, like I've said before with some of these characters, how can you have a Black Panther character and make it the least interesting? And then that to me is like, it's beyond me. Like, why? Like, how could you do that? Last one in our S tier. And that's Scarlita. A lot of people wouldn't put Scarlita in this high tier, but honestly, if you look at her character design, she's got thick thighs. And the last but not least, we got to talk about them, and that is putting Chippy and Hammy in that top tier, potential tier, the SSR tier character. This is the character that has no value outside of the story, but they would easily sacrifice themselves, Pokemon movie Pikachu, and save the day, or do some random Giga ability and then like save the day. Wuthering Waves, end of main storyline, just appear out of nowhere, save the day, and easily be the SSR tier. So I put them in that potential tier and they belong there. And you can't tell me otherwise. There's no way they don't belong there. Like I said, with this tier list, this is not a tier list to like based off of fully waifus or how the character plays entirely. This is the mix of how these characters ought to be ranked if they were in any other gacha. If they were in a Hoyoverse gacha, a Kuro Games gacha, I guarantee this would be the rankings for these characters. I try to be fair with this. I try to be reasonable with this to give everyone a fair shot. And not just based off of one quality, but of multiple qualities. And honestly, I don't think I'm wrong about any of these. I think all of my opinions are objectively right. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Give the video a like and subscribe as well. I've been super thankful for everyone who's been joining the channel and showing support. Right now, we just crossed into 1,000 watch hours in the channel. And we made our goal of reaching 300 subscribers, which is basically puts us on a road to being monetized. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I plan on sharing much more gacha content within this channel, as well as doing live content. I did this tier list live. So if you join us Monday, Wednesday, Friday when we stream, I do stream on European server, European times. But that being said, we do a lot of content on YouTube as well to kind of fill everybody in as well. So love to catch you live, to see you live. And until next time, guys, may fortune favor your journey. Peace.